friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Natalie and I'm the artist and owner behind NMC Design Studio, which is a small art business based out of Seattle, Washington. Today I wanted to tell y'all a little bit about some of my market essentials. As someone who has been vending at markets for almost 6 years now, since my very first market, I have a couple things that I have learned over the years of just like stuff that I definitely want to bring to markets with me. Otherwise, I have a not great time. And I'm not really going to talk about the things that you need for like table, chair, tablecloth, vending setup, signage, actual products. Like that, we're not going to talk about that. That's like a separate video of like a display of art products and things like that. No, we're gonna talk about the things that you bring like for yourself for the 3 to 6 to 8 hours that you're sitting behind a table. So this first one might be like a little bit controversial because I think some people try to keep the consumption of this down while they're vending, but water. Bringing a water bottle or like some sort of vessel to be able to fill up with water is really important for me. Not only does it keep you hydrated, which I think the reason some artists are like, nah, I'm gonna try and not drink water, which questionable, but is so that they don't have to use the bathroom. Especially if you're vending alone, chugging water can result in multiple bathroom breaks, which if you don't have someone to watch your booth is always a little bit of a toss-up and like risk that you're taking. But personally, I like having a water bottle and some water because I get thirsty, especially if you're talking to people a lot, like something to keep your voice going all right. Also, it's a good like little thing. I think a lot of people who vend at markets or events have this where like, what do you do when people are like browsing in front of you and you like want to look busy? Like, do you take like your stack of bags and like move it around a little bit or like, you know? But a thing you can do with a water bottle is you can take a sip of your water bottle and like put it back down, and then like 5 seconds later you can pick it back up and take another sip, and it's just like an easy thing that you can do to seem busy and not like you're like watching the person and like waiting for them to make a purchase. So personally, I really like bringing my water bottle with me to events. And then this next thing is something I always strive to bring with me to events, and I don't always succeed, but it's snacks, because food. I have this problem where, so I'm a person who doesn't generally eat breakfast. Usually I will eat lunch and dinner and then maybe snack. If I'm very hungry in the morning, I'll have like a very small thing at like 9-10 a.m. So with most events, I'm starting my day around 9-10 a.m. and probably leaving the house by like 10-11. And that means that I don't eat a lot of the times before I leave. I'm very bad at that, which means I really should be bringing snacks with me so that I can actually eat during the day instead of waiting until I get home at 8 p.m. to have like my first food of the day. It's not good, not healthy, but I do forget to bring snacks sometimes. I'm trying to get better at it, and I think having like easy packaged food helps a lot, like granola bars. I've recently been eating from Trader Joe's. They have like packaged crepes with like, it's essentially Nutella. It's like hazelnut chocolate spread inside. They're very good. They're definitely like a dessert and sweet. I think those would also be really good for markets just because like it's already packaged and like things that you don't have to like put into Ziploc bags and like worry about cutting up fruit beforehand, etc., etc. Just like very simple and easy to just throw in a bag while you're running out the door. That's what I need personally. And then I've kind of categorized these. So this first thing is like necessities, or I don't know what you would call it. It's water, food, and painkillers. So I have started bringing, so for the last like year or so, I've started bringing painkillers with me to events because I have found, I think one, because sometimes I will not drink enough water, which is why water bottle is essential. And 2, because at events, a lot of the times you're smiling so much to be like customer service voice, and you're smiling at all the customers, and if it's busy, you're smiling for the entire 4 to 8 hours that you're behind the table. And that often gives me the biggest headache, like just awful bad. I hate it so much. To the point that I think last year, before I started bringing it with me to every event, I had 2 events like within the same month or 2-month period where I texted or called a friend and was like, hey, so I know you're in the area. Please bring me painkillers. My head is killing me. Please. So I got a little like trinket box thing, actually from another artist, but it's very cute, and I just put ibuprofen in there, take it, and it's just in my suitcase. It's a permanent addition in my suitcase that just comes with me to events. So I don't even have to like remember to put it back in. I'll have to remember when I eventually run out of painkillers in there, but thus far, it's worked perfectly. So the next category, since we're doing categories now, first category was, we'll call it necessities, maybe like personal necessities. Second category we'll call tools. I don't know if that makes sense, but we'll call it tools. So first up, tape. Need tape, and specifically like masking tape. I don't really want Scotch tape, but like masking tape works really well because also it tends to not rip things as much, I feel like. I don't know, that could just be entirely assumption or like bias. But something like painter's tape or masking tape where it's still sticky and will still do the job. It's something that I use to hang up signs actually, so it's something that I need to bring to markets. But aside from that, I've also used it in a pinch to like hang up sleeved prints on my display setup when I've like been kind of pressed for space and I don't have enough binder clips. And it's just something I find generally really useful, especially with my setup. It is also useful for me for like taping things down to the tablecloth to make sure things don't move, and just generally something that like I don't want to go to a market without because I will struggle. Second thing that we'll talk about that I actually didn't, I have a little list of things that I thought about for what I'm going to talk about with y'all. Something I didn't think about, but I just said, binder clips. I use binder clips a lot to attach things from the top of my display that are going to be like hanging but facing forward. So I use it for signage, I use it for prints like I said. I use it for my 3D mouse pads as well, and they're just really useful. And then the third and kind of fourth thing, but like a pen or a Sharpie, just because I have found that sometimes I need to edit my signage in the middle of an event. I did that at the Moon Market because I had new products that I hadn't printed out signage for. Sometimes when I am in the process of printing out signage and have printed out new signage, I mess up prices and mess up names of things or fully forget something. So I need to like add that in really fast. Or if I need to make new signage, like having a notepad and a pen to be able to just write out the prices of things really fast. Super useful. Because otherwise you are kind of depending on people asking you about the price of an item. Customers are just less likely to want to talk to you or ask questions. We're all just little introverts and socially anxious nerds. I mean, not all of us, but I am. I don't want to talk to other people or ask about prices. And then the very last thing that I wanted to tell y'all about, my last like market essential. I don't know a good category to put this in because it's not either of the previous two. It is having a printed out newsletter sign up, specifically like an email newsletter sign up where people can write down their name and their email to sign up for your newsletter. It's how I've increased my newsletter subscribers the most. If I was fully just depending on signups from online orders and signups through my website, I would have so few newsletter subscribers. But because I've been bringing these sign-up sheets to my markets and just have a pen next to it and people can sign up, generally I will get like 1 or 2 newsletter signups at an event. And I know like at SakuraCon, I fully filled out one of my pages, which is, I don't think I've actually counted, but at least like 15. And then we started adding people on the back. So it was definitely like probably around like 25 to 30 people who signed up at that one event who wouldn't have signed up otherwise, because otherwise it requires you to, 1, remember to follow me on social media, and 2, then go to my website, and 3, actually enter in your information to sign up for the email newsletter. So it is a game changer in terms of actually increasing my email newsletter subscriber number. And if you are also a small business owner, artist, etc., and you vend at events and either have or are thinking of starting an email newsletter, highly, highly, highly recommend having a physical sign-up sheet at your booth or table while you're vending. The worst thing about it is trying to decipher people's handwriting. That is the hardest thing. Even if I'm misinterpreting people's like email addresses, it's still so many more subscribers than I would have got otherwise. So still 100% worth it. And that is it for all of my market essentials. If you have any essentials that you think I should know about, you should leave them in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed the video, I would love if you considered subscribing. I post videos every Monday about my artwork and what it's like running a small art business. I also want to say thank you to my Ko-fi subscribers for their support. If you would like to support me further, you can subscribe to me on Ko-fi for $1 or $3 a month to get rewards like your name in this video, monthly behind the scenes sketchbooks, and monthly mobile and desktop backgrounds. Thank you again for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye!